Hi there guys, in today's video we're going to be looking at FabriCAM's user interface. But before that, let's have a quick intro first. So today's video can be found on softwaretraining.co.za. We make short and easy to watch problem solving videos, and we also have daily updates. Otherwise, we're back in the program here. Now, just so you guys know, this is going to be a mini series on the user interface, and it will be mostly an overview, so we just get familiar with what is where. Then in a future mini series, we're going to go through every single section and how to use them. But yeah, otherwise back to this. So now this might be the first time you've started the program, because in the previous mini series we looked at installing and all of those things. Now that we're actually in the program, we can start getting our hands dirty. But like I always recommend, before you start a program, first try at least understand the user interface. Otherwise, you're going to get very lost and frustrated. So now this is also just a disclaimer. It's normally the tedious part because it feels like you just want to start creating. Now I'm going to throw in some practicals in between some of these series just so you get to that. But this is very important, this part of understanding a program. So now if we're in the program, there's a few different sections we can isolate. Now in the actual documentation, there's not a lot of info as to what these panels are called. So we're going to kind of just make them up for the sake of the tutorials. So when you guys follow along, you have a good idea of what we're talking about. So now first of all, we have our main menu on top here. Now most programs have these. So this is a lot of the stuff you see on screen you can get under these menus, but also there's normally extra stuff under these menus which you won't find here. So all your more advanced settings and so forth. So the top one here will be calling your main menu, and then each one is different sub menus within your main menu to do different things. Like as you guys can remember from the previous one, we went to the about and the help just to see what version number we are running. Then normally I would call these toolbars, but because of the nature of this program, it's not quite toolbars, but we might still call it toolbars for the sake of simplicity. So the top one here, the big one with the big icons, this we will be calling your main toolbar. So basically a lot of the things you find under file, you'll be finding over here with some extra things. So this is obviously where you can open a CAD, or should I say go to the CAD. Then you can start new sheets here, open files. You can do all your parts, that's where you'll be getting them. And then save, which is a very important one. We've got print, we've got some preview options, configuration, and so forth. We can also close the application here, which is not something you see often. Then under that, we've got our secondary toolbar. So this is for operating these widgets and so forth. Then you can move them, rotate them, and so forth. And then also very important to point out is the undo and redo buttons. So they are located under your secondary toolbar. Then on the left here, we've got your imported parts. So if you make any parts, you've got a preview and the part listed. Then under that, we've got some sheets. So this will be your sheets and some information about that. And then to the right, we've got a preview, a 3D preview of what's busy happening. So this is your actual sheet, where the parts are located and so forth. But yeah, so that is it on the overview of the user interface. Something also to point out, which is useful, is you can see coordinates here on the bottom right. So as we move the mouse around, you can see coordinates. So this can help a lot while you're designing. But yeah, otherwise that's it on the overview. In the next videos, we're going to be running through some of these sections individually, and like I said, it might be a bit tedious, but it is quite important to cover all of these areas. But yeah, otherwise, in the meanwhile, if we head here to softwaretraining.co.za, you guys will notice we've got a variety of different softwares we do cover, and you can also isolate your search here on the top right. If you do not, however, find the training videos you're looking for, just simply go here, request a training video, fill in the mini form, and then we will do our best to try and make that for you. Well, until next video, thanks guys, and cheers.